What up, boys? How are you guys? Sorry, a few minutes late. What up, dudes? How are we? How are you? Use your fun guy. I'm chilling, man. I'm locking in for I poured myself a coffee. I'm locking in for the long haul. What do I like opening day tomorrow? I don't know. I just started looking at that literally minutes before we got on. I wanted to be on, I was hoping to take like narrative wise, like a Zach Greinke tomorrow, things like that. I don't want to. I'll see if the Cubs gets wide enough to get attractive. I don't know who's pitching for the Mets yet. I don't like this opening day at all. It stinks. But you generally like ramp up as the season goes. Like betting, I barely bet opening day. If there's like a really good opportunity in the first few days, yeah, but generally not a ton. I got to look at the Framber-Ohtani matchup. I don't think Ohtani's ever beat the Astros. Like ever. So Masters picks or no, I have no idea on the Masters. I just keep seeing things of people trying to take Tiger or whatever. Oh, let me open the back door real quick. We'll do it quick. So I threw in, if anybody wants to pull it up, it should. I hopefully be helpful. I'm going to add to it as the season goes, but I have like a notes thing, like a baseball sheet that's in the link tree in the bio now. So I have that up. Hold on one sec. I got to open my back door. Yeah. So do you bet opening day or no? If I see something I really like so far, not yet, but I haven't looked at. I only got to look at like I was trying to see about taking Kyle Hendricks at home in a day game, but Hendricks just doesn't pitch well against the Brewers. They kind of like have his number, so that's like normally a spot you'd want to be on. I was trying to convince myself onto the Royals, and I didn't like that either. And those were the only two I looked at so far. The Yankees aren't playing on opening day, brother, but we kind of stink. That's my team too, man. We're not. I put us. So I did preseason power rankings. If you see the link tree thing I put out, yeah. Hold on, I got a text. I'm in a fucking argument with not an argument, but I made a mistake. I said something to the girl I should not have. Peter Rabbit, what's up, brother? Dustin Harris, what up, brother? I realized how much I shouldn't have said it to her right there. Hold on one sec. Oh boy. Whatever. Whatever. Wainwright first five versus Pirates. Interesting. Wainwright first five versus Pirates. The Pirates are bad this year, dude. It's really just Cabrian Hayes and what's his face. So if you look at the notes section, I don't know if anybody ended up telling you like poodles. Yeah, I will lever to Trish. I'm gonna have to say something because I was pretty dumb. But I picked, these were who I ended up picking for my division winners outright. I think the Giants are absolutely stacked. I think the Mariners are absolutely stacked. I love the Mariners lineup. So much contact. Braves beat out the Mets to win the NL East. So preseason power rankings, I had to put the Braves number one, even without Freeman. I think the only thing the Braves have to worry about, to be completely honest, is did anybody else see all the clubhouse friction with Matt Olson signing the huge contract? I don't know if anybody else saw that, but people do not like that he got a massive contract. Like, I think there's like a little internal, like, Astros win West easily. I don't know about that. But I think nobody's gotten paid on that team. And then Matt Olson comes in and gets like the biggest contract in like Braves history. Where you got to be pissed if you're like Ozzie Albies on like a $5 million deal or a $7 million deal or whatever. I think there could be, that's the only thing I could see with any friction, because otherwise, I mean, we're looking at an opening day lineup. It's like Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen, maybe Azuña, Rosario, Duvall, Swanson, d'Arnaud, something like that. I mean, that's absurd. And the bullpen is just like, I mean, we swapped out Jansen for, I mean, what? Basically, Melancon. Who was closing last year? Why my brain? He closed the World Series for me. My brain isn't. It wasn't Melancon, was it? Hasn't Olsen been in the league longer than Albies? Albies' time will come. Albies signed like the most team-friendly deal on the entire planet. Yo, Matt Olsen is really unproven for the contract he got. Olsen just as good as Freeman and 4 years younger? No, he's not. Yeah, I'm going with the Braves to win. Yeah. I mean, the Braves just won me so much money this last year. I can't add respect. But Will Smith is awesome. I agree. Olsen is not as good as Freeman. I think that's Matt Olsen is honestly a great pickup. Let's see. Luke Jackson out for the year. He's out for the season. Do I have him on the injury list? No, I don't have him on injury. He's out for the season for sure, because I'll move him into the injury column. So I'm talking, if anybody's joining, on the link tree, I have a thing. I can move him in there. I'll confirm that. Luke Jackson out for the season? I got to write a Luke Jackson note. I'm just going to write notes and I'll add them to that sheet after. Luke Jackson injured. Interesting. Okay. That's annoying. I mean, you still have what? Jansen, Will Smith, Tyler Matzik, Minter, McHugh, O'Day. Pretty long line of guys. I think you have an awesome starting lineup. If Soroka comes back, but I don't know. I just love that lineup. Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen, Acuna, Rosario. Rosario's actually got a bad hire, so we got to rearrange my lineup because he has to hire. Olsen is a solid replacement for Freeman, not as good, but a good replacement. Okay, I can get that. Jackson's not that good in my opinion. There's sometimes he looks really good, sometimes he looks really bad to me. Can the Phillies win their division? So I like this division overall because I think the Marlins are dangerous, dude. I have the Marlins ranked as, it's a little crazy, but I have them as the 11th best team in baseball. Yeah, it's true. Soroka, it's just Soroka needs to be healthy. I don't think he's iffy as a pitcher. It's just his health. But, I mean, you're looking at a Phillies lineup of like, see, I think they're going to mess it up and they're not going to bat Castellanos in the 2-hole like they should. But if you batted like Schwarber, Castellanos, Harper, Real Muto, Didi, Hoskins, Segura. Oh, you know what's weird? The Stott kid or whatever, what's his name? Bryson Stott, the young kid that might be taking Alec Boehm's job as the third baseman for the Phillies. Weirdly enough, Dino, like the younger dog I have, his best friend at like the playgroup in the morning, that like dad is basically the uncle of that Bryson Stott kid. Apparently he's a very streaky player. That's the inside knowledge. Very good defender, very streaky hitter. Like he hit like 500 in spring training. Apparently he's a very streaky hitter, this Stott kid. So we got a little inside info on the Stott kid. We're kind of rooting for him. Rosario team friendly contract. I think Rosario is awesome. So you're looking at an awesome lineup for the Phillies. I mean, you're not going to be able to beat like Castellanos, Harper back to back. I mean, that's like arguably the best combo you're going to get in baseball is Castellanos, Harper back to back, especially because Harper's learned to hit situationally now. I was never a Bryce Harper guy till recently, but he's learned situational hitting now. So I'm a big Harper guy now. But we're looking at a starting lineup of like, because Wheeler, I mean, Wheeler be there by end of season, at least in the beginning of the year. We can't take Wheeler in his first few starts. He hasn't even pitched in spring training yet. I think he just maybe threw his first start in spring training. Nola couldn't locate, just couldn't throw any decent breaking ball last year. All he had was a fastball for an entire season. So we need to see if Nola comes back. But otherwise, you're hanging your hat on like Rangers, Suarez, Eflin, Kyle Gibson. I mean, what are we doing? And then, like, I guess you got like an old Brad Hand. The bullpen looks a lot better than it has in a long time with Knebel, Hand, Familia, Jose Alvarado, Brogdon, Sir Anthony Dominguez. That's a lot better than in a long time. Zero defense. That's like the star noted on my thing is zero defense. They're going just zero defense. Yeah, they need to at least have like a center fielder that can play some defense. You got to have, and like Nato Dubal Herrera, who's like the worst situational hitter ever. So, do I think the Braves can win? The Phillies can win it? Maybe, because I kind of like the team. You need so much to break right. You need Nola to just be his old self again. You need Wheeler to come back completely healthy. Everything, just have a good season. You need Ranger Suarez to take another step. I don't know if Eflin's still young enough where we can count on him to maybe take a step. Pirates, Cubs, Reds, all bad. I agree. I don't like Stroman pickup for Cubs. Doesn't move me. And then you picked up Drew Smiley too. Like, what are we doing? I kind of like Michael Givens was a nice pickup in the bullpen. But the Reds, yeah. I do think some people on the Reds, maybe like first fives on the Reds, we can look at. You like the Cardinals, Spyro Drag. You're saying Cardinals got the division on lock. You like the Cardinals more than the Brewers? I've heard Suzuki's all right. He's gonna have to just. Apparently, he's really strong. He's like a big, strong guy. Apparently, gets along really well with his Cubs teammates too. But dude, this Brewers lineup, you could have McCutchen, Wong. I guess you can't really do, or you wouldn't want to do Wong and Yelich back to back, but they're almost like lefty heavy anyways. Because you got to bat Tellez like down the order now with Renfroe. So you're like McCutchen, Wong, or maybe Wong, McCutchen. You can't bet McCutchen the 2-hole. I don't know how you want to do it, but it would be nice to have McCutchen at the top of the lineup. But McCutchen, Wong, Yelich, Renfroe, Narvaez as like a perfect 5-hitter. Urias, Tellez, Adames, and Lorenzo Cain. That's a loaded lineup, dude. And then they got Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, Adrian Hauser, who could take another step forward. I think Adrian Hauser's poised to maybe take a step forward. I think the bullpen depth, like middle reliever depth, was what I circled as a problem on the Brewers. That's a nice situation to be in, where middle reliever depth. I think the Brewers are fucking loaded. I love Colton Wong. I think he's a winner. He brings a winning attitude. I thought that team was kind of like a year away last year. I think the Brewers take that division. Because my problem with the Cardinals, their lineup's still thin to me. Like Edman, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Dickerson or something? And then O'Neill, Bader, Carlson and stuff. These are all the same people they had last year. It's the Cardinals lineup is the same. The Cardinals lineup was so thin last year, and people gave it so much it was basically like the top 3 guys. And then it kind of falls off a cliff. I kind of see the same thing this year, unless I think Tyler O'Neill is who Tyler O'Neill is / worse than he is. And then Corey Dickerson's Corey Dickerson. Dylan Carlson has to make a big step forward, I think, on this team. And I don't know if he can do that. And the starting lineup, I mean, Jack Flaherty is just dealing with seasons of injury problems now. They have the best defense. They definitely have obviously better defense. They have the best defense in baseball, the Cardinals. So we will concede that. But we're basically going to be dealing with Wainwright, Steven Matz, Miles Mikolas. You know who Miles Mikolas is. Miles Mikolas is never going to be more than a 4 ERA pitcher. Dakota Hudson maybe can take a big step forward. And then kind of same guys in the bullpen like Gallegos, Hicks. Obviously, Andrew Miller just retired, RIP. Thanks for ruining his career. That's awesome. Alex Reyes already injured in the bullpen. So Genesis Cabrera, I like from the left side. I think he's nice. But Wickren from the Indians, I'm not a huge him guy. TJ McFarland, not a huge him guy. Maybe Cody Whitley takes a big step forward. I don't like Heisley. I mean, for Hagen coming back from Japan, what the Cardinals pitching, I just can't get there. It's similar with Phillies. The pitching staffs I was really impressed by to start off the season were obviously the Braves, the Brewers outside of middle relief. I actually really like this Marlins team and that little snag they just made robbing the depleted Orioles. But dude, a starting lineup, if you could bust out, I guess Soler has to bet higher than how I have it. But ideally, I would go you probably want Soler's actually plate discipline at the top of this lineup. But Wendell has it too. Wendell, Cooper, Jesus Sanchez, Aguilar, Chisholm, Soler. Freaking this team's stacked. Rojas, Stallings at the back end of it. What's his face Garcia out there that they took from the Brewers we were just talking about. I mean, dude, I like this Marlins team. Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, Pablo Lopez, Luzardo, Sixto. I mean, you're 6 pitchers, good pitchers. You just grab Sulser, Tanner Scott, Anthony Bass, Floro. if that Bender guy can make another step, get his control a little better, the Blyer guy they took from the Orioles too, they're like robbing the Orioles organization, the Marlins. Brewers have to have the best pitching in baseball. I wonder if the Braves can make an argument. I think the Giants bullpen probably prevents them from making an argument, but I absolutely love the Giants starting five. Logan Webb, Carlos Rodon, Anthony DeSclafani, Alex Wood, and Alex Cobb. Dude. That's nice. I like that a lot. I like that more than I agree. Actually, the Jays that's what really tips you on the Jays and the White Sox this year. I like the White Sox bullpen. Grabbing Graveman, Hendricks, Graveman, and Bummer as like a top three. That's a pretty sexy top three. Rodon won't stay healthy. Maybe not. San Fran's pretty good with pitchers. I mean, I guess health is a different thing. But wow, Jackson on 60-day IL. Okay, I'll change that now. Wow, that stinks. That's rough. I mean, I guess just throw sliders. Sean Resnick, what's up? Red Sox thoughts. I had the Red Sox initially lower. Where do I have them now? I have them 13th. I put them. Obviously, you like the lineup. I wouldn't have got Trevor Story. I don't like Trevor Story. I don't see any point of having Trevor Story on your team. That doesn't do anything for me. I think they're wholly dependent. Jackson is a big clubhouse guy, him and Matzik. I can see that. I know Matzik is. Matzik is a great one. Got a lot of stories, that journeyman. Yeah, I think Story. I just don't like his approach at the plate. There's a lot of things I'm not about Trevor Story. I mean, you're still trotting out for the Red Sox. You have such a steady, like Kiki, Devers, Bogarts, JD Martinez, Verdugo, and then I guess you're going to have like Story, Vasquez or something. I mean, that's pretty damn steady, the top five of that. Same top five as last year, so steady. Eovaldi, Pavetta, Hook, Waka, Rich Hill. I mean, not super ideal. I think Hook is the biggest because I think Pavetta, I'm not sure he can get enough swings and misses necessarily to really evolve too much further than even like the top end we saw him in the playoffs. I mean, that's going to be his best nights, but I still think he can be like a solid 2-3, but you have Eovaldi as a 2. Hook needs to evolve into an ace. If he can evolve into an ace, I think the Red Sox can make a big push. Otherwise, because I think Chris Sale, I mean, let's be honest, Chris Sale's done. They sold Chris Sale's soul for a championship. There's been a lot of soul selling for championships recently. They sold Chris Sale's soul for a championship. Matt Barnes, let's not forget, their closer, did they even put their closer on the AL playoff roster last year? I don't think he was on the playoff roster for the Red Sox, Matt Barnes. Wasn't even on the freaking playoff roster. So, like, we're counting on Garrett Whitlock to continue to be sick. We're counting on – I don't think Josh Taylor is very good. He's whatever. Dykman's wild, but he's semi-effective. I mean, Hansel Robles, still Brazier, Matt Strom. I mean, you're just reaching a little bit with the bullpen. I get it's like I think it's like a high floor, low ceiling-ish kind of bullpen. You really need Whitlock to evolve. So then we land in a place where I need Hook to be a monster. If Hook is an absolute monster, otherwise, yeah, I think the Red Sox are like a middling team. Some teams got really good this year. Like, I think the Mariners got really good. I think the Jays got really good. There's some teams that got really good. The Jays are pretty good. My favorite team is the Yankees. I was born and bred on the Yankees. They mean a lot to me. They're my favorite sports entity. They're one of my favorite things on this planet. Are the teams behind? Those are just who I think are the division winners. So in the link tree in my bio, there's a sheet that has like some notes on the different teams, then first power rankings, and then I'll do the tracking because I have to do tracking for baseball. Other ones I can kind of let slide, but not for baseball. What's the CBB question, little Vinny? Let's chat. I'll be here I'm staying for 3 hours. I might have to take like a quick break, but I'm staying till 6:30. Anybody needs to leave, come back, whatever. I'm just going to answer questions for 3 hours. What do I think of the Mitchell twins for Rhode Island? I think they're like, I think they should form a band with Orlando Robinson of Fresno State. And the three of them can be in a band and travel the country together and play the worst defense on 3-on-3 ever. They're kind of like them for me. For me. It's like pretty skilled. They're cool sometimes, but I mean, they're not gonna whatever. See you, Tyler B. I'll see you in a bit, bro. Cardinals Pirates tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't really. I know Brubaker's pitching well. I was looking to hope to take the Pirates. I didn't like any dogs in the beginning of the season, like opening day and shit. Like the first week of the season, you generally go a lot lighter. So I generally try and look like mostly for dog plays, but I couldn't get behind it. Like I want to just take the Braves because I don't think they're losing that game, but Maul's good. They just transferred to Arkansas. What? I mean, I guess Jalen Williams is relatively unathletic, but how are they going to play? How are they going to get up and down? I guess they can get up and down. They're not they're more side to side athletically deficient rather than running straight line, jumping, I guess. Wainwright, first 5. He is good versus Pirates. I feel like anybody's going to be good versus the Pirates this year. It's going to be like Alford, Hayes, Reynolds, Satsugo, Vogelbach, Newman. I mean, Jesus. What are we doing? Yeah, that's bad. I heard that Mitch Keller and Brubaker were both pitching well in spring training, though. So, yeah, the Pirates, I don't know. The Pirates, the Orioles, and the Athletics all completely bailed. Just completely bailed. The D-backs lineup is kind of rough, but I like the D-backs pitching. I want to back Merrill Kelly early in the season. I saw some clips of him pitching in spring training. He looked good. I don't think the bullpen's as bad this year. At least Melancone, Ian Kennedy, Oliver Perez, J.D. Wendelken, Caleb Smith, Mantiply. I think we can close out a couple games with that. So we can close out some close games if we're the D-backs. The D-backs aren't going to be as bad. I'd like to invest in some D-backs this year. Phillies money line versus Athletics maybe Friday. When we stream tomorrow, I'll come with a bunch of games and more. I really haven't gotten a chance to look into the specific pitching matchups. I just know that from watching last year that the Brewers have kind of figured out the Kyle Hendricks thing. So I don't know if I can take that. It's hard for me to imagine Casey really getting to Cleveland, getting to Shane Bieber. Casey's just rolling out, I think, the same lineup they had last year. I don't think Casey changed anything. They were just screw it. Although their lineup, you expect regression out of Salvador Perez at some point, but the rest of the lineup can maybe get better. I kind of like Greinke and Singer at the top of it. Opening day is all about the dogs. Yeah, I generally like to look dogs earlier in this. I mean, I generally look dogs in general, but earlier in the season especially just because it's you're going off of very little data super early in the season. Happy to see you have the A's last sprinkled plus 800 worst record. Dude, they're bad. I mean, I can see it being them. At least the Orioles have a couple pieces I like. I don't even know who to like on the A's anymore. Frankie Montas will be gone in no time. Trevino will probably be gone in no time. The one thing I was saying, people that were saying about the Astros, are you super confident if you're an Astros guy that Justin Verlander's just going to come back and be that guy again? Who's pitching for the Mets, Lil Vinny? I didn't even see a pitcher. I just see it's Corbin for the Nationals. I don't even know who's pitching for the Mets. Do you ever take fun run lines or just stick to money line? I take run lines sometimes. Not on dogs, plus 1.5. I never take plus 1.5. So only minus 1.5. Pirates are the worst. I don't know. If Brubaker and Keller turn out to be decent, because I think Zach Thompson might be decent. They have a couple decent bullpen pieces like Bednar, Hembry, Underwood, Stratton. It's really righty dominant, but it could be worse. Miguel? Who's Megal? I don't think they have a pitcher named Megal. Megal? What did you do that? If you're the Astros, you're really that confident in what's it called? In Verlander just coming back after all this time up and just being awesome. Oh, Tyler McGill? Really? Tyler McGill's opening the season? Because is it just like a spot or something and they need what the hell? Ew. I don't dislike McGill, but ew. I usually try and stay away from minus 200 plus. Yeah, there's not a lot of baseball games where you really can think that like a team has like a 90% chance, 85% chance, something like that of winning a fucking baseball game. It's a lot of variance in a baseball game. That's why it's nice that there's 162 of them. Do you bet first five? Sometimes. I do bet totals in baseball. I'll have a lot more like variety. It won't be just money lines from me in baseball. Any sleeper teams you like at the beginning? I think people are going to have no idea how good the Mariners are. I think it'll be hard to adjust. I really, really like the Mariners. And so that was a hit. I don't think Verlander's just going to be awesome. Whoa. Yo. It's FedEx. Let's be out. Stop. Do you bet nerfies? No, I don't bet nerfies. I see how people, if they really try and like if they're like using like certain pitchers are much worse or better first inning. Like there's some rookies that'll just go out and throw their whole arsenal first inning versus people that like really want to establish certain things. Like you'll see vets that just throw the fastball the entire first inning, right? So like depending on who, I would just be cognizant of that stuff. I don't personally bet nerfies, no. Rangers could be a sleeper. Maybe. So the problems I have with the Rangers would be their pitchings. They don't have actually a bullpen at all. So, Lil Vinny, who the hell would you trust to close a baseball game? Leclerc doesn't come back until like halfway through the season. I think they'll be so far out of it, they'll probably just look to trade him right away. Who could you trust? Joe Barlow? Dude, don't do that with me. You trust him, or he's like an option that might eventually emerge with a couple of heel clicking together and some real hope. He has not proven at all. He has like a quarter of a season or something of pitching semi-effectively. And then we have like Garrett Richards, Greg Holland, and a bunch of children. I mean, that's what it's a bunch of children who have proven nothing. So we can hope and pray and click, but it is what it is. And then we have basically like Dane Dunning, John Gray, and Martin Perez in the bullpen. I mean, in the starting rotation. I mean, we can't really realistically be like excited about that. I get the lineup. You put Simeone, Seeger, like Garver, Calhouni type thing. I don't know how high Adolis Garcia hits, but him, Brad Miller too. I see it's like fun. There's some ideas there, but I'm not. Yeah, Greg Holland hasn't been good in a while. So yeah, I like Garrett Richards' toughness, but I'm not. So I think the Rangers, it's a little tough. I wanted to like the Rangers too, but it's really tough. I agree. The NL East is going to be awesome because even the Nationals might not be bad. I'm hearing a lot of good things about the little trio of, or I guess really just, I mean, Kaboom, I think we have an idea that he could be decent. But I hear Lane Thomas and Kybert Ruiz are legit. Like, I've known Kybert Ruiz, but I heard Lane Thomas like end of last year, early this year. I didn't see it as much myself, but I've heard he's been putting together a lot of really good at-bats for a good, portion of time now. End of season last season, into spring training this year. So Soto is absurd. But you get that beginning of that lineup. You get Cesar Hernandez, Soto, Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, Kybert Ruiz in the 5 if he's decent. I mean, you got a little something there. Strasburg, Corbin, Josiah Gray, and Fetty is 4. I mean, the bullpen is a little old. Like, I wish it was however many years ago and I had Chiswick, Doolittle, and Will Harris. But I think Finnegan, I remember him from like TCU or something in college baseball. He was good. And then he was on the Royals, and then he kind of never panned out kind of thing. But I always thought Brandon Finnegan was really good. So I could see him panning out. Rainey's not bad. I think the Cubs could be sneaky good. I got a problem with their lineup. But Hendricks, Stroman, Alec Mills, Smiley. Wade Miley is going to be like off injured the entire season. So Verhagen or Who's going to end up getting starts? I mean, I guess, David Robertson, Michael Gibbons, Chris Martin, Jesse Chavez, Roman Wick. That's pretty decent. Super righty heavy, but that's pretty decent, right? I just don't know. I can't buy in on the Cubs. But I honestly, even after the stupid moves they made, still like the Reds more than that. Because I think Vladimir Gutierrez is an underrated commodity. And I kind of think Tyler Mahl's still a little underrated. And I think Mike Minor's always underrated. I think Mike Minor is a really good pitcher, actually. Thoughts on the Royals? Exact same lineup as last year, plus like Bobby Witt. I mean, I guess the back three on the back of their bullpen is actually like better than it's been in a long time, but there's no bullpen depth beyond that. Like Scott Barlow, Amir Garrett, that's a nice pickup, and then Stalmont. Those are like three if you're like building a young, kind of shitty, whatever kind of low expectation bullpen. I kind of don't mind those three as a back three, but where's any middle relief? There's no middle relief in that team at all. That's bad. But Greinke, Singer, I like the Carlos Hernandez kid. Brett Keller's not bad. Bubic kind of stinks. I don't hate that team outside of I think the middle relief and stuff is bad. But semi-average team. I do love Benintendi. I like Merrifield a lot. Salvi Perez is due for some regression. He's just due for like a not awesome year. Guy just keeps having unbelievable seasons. Carlos Hernandez, Hunter Dozier. You really just like the 1-2 for the Royals. I think the White Sox are scary. They're starting to get scary. I don't even know how you put together that lineup because you have so many pieces. It's like embarrassment of riches over there. I like that team. Big fan of that team. Guess you need a little more bullpen depth too because Joe Kelly stinks. What else are we thinking? I really like the Mariners. The Twins, I see people thinking about the Twins. And they're wholly dependent on some arms emerging as well. The Twins really need some pitching to emerge. I was thinking about the Rockies. I kind of like the Rockies. I was thinking maybe the Rockies are a little spunky. Because Brandon Rogers is going to lead off, right? I didn't watch a ton of Rockies last year, I feel. But he's growing into a leadoff hitter because if I think so, and then we can move everybody else down one, I think that actually looks pretty good. Because if you have Rogers, Bryant, Blackmon, Crone, McMahon, Iglesias, Randall Grichuk with a nice little fly ball guy out in chorus, I don't hate that. Marquez, Freeland, Senzatella, Gomber, I like cool. Ground ball wise, he should match with the terrain well. Give him like a 4 ERA or something, 4.2 ERA or something. Be serviceable. Cool will be a pleasant surprise. Chad Kuhl, I like betting on Chad Kuhl. And then you have at least a closer in Colomb. Daniel Bard's not good. Nobody else is really good in the bullpen. I kind of like the Rockies versus people thinking they're going to be like a bottom three team in baseball. I think they can outfinish that. Where did I put them? I was generous with them. Where did I put them? 25th. Generous. I don't mind the starting pitchers for the Rockies. I don't like them. I have much bigger problems with the bullpen. Do we auto fade A's? They're in a bad situation, bro. It's basically like Montas, Kaprelian's like starting the season injured. Cole Irvin. Basically just Lou Trevino in the bullpen. I mean, it's bad. It's a bad situation in Oakland. I mean, what's the lineup? Like Tony Kemp, Elvis Andrus, Thames, Lowry again, Piscotty. It's bad. Sean Murphy. I mean, maybe Pache will develop into an all-world player for them, even though he wasn't for the Braves. Maybe they can get Pache to just go all-world. I'm having a rough time with them. Real rough time. I feel actually semi-confident about these. Because the Jays are just stacked with pitching, huh? Gausman, Berrios, Ryu, Manoa, who I think will be sick. Kikuchi and like Nate Pearson is still like in the wins. They're like, oh, Ross Stripling, kick it to the bullpen kid. Yeah, I think they are coming to Vegas. They'll be sweet. I'm excited. I think the stadium's going to go where the old, wherever they used to hold the World Series of Poker, the Rio. I think that's where the baseball stadium's going to go, the Rio. Hi, sweetheart. What do you guys think? Yeah, and then, I mean, the lineup is just out of control at this point. The Blue Jays are really good. I think they have a pretty clear, because I'm down on the Rays relative to other people. I think the pitching is going to come back to bite them at some point. At some point, you're not going to – I love their lineup. But you're going to have to – at some point, this pitching might come home to roost a little bit. By the year, it gets less and less trustworthy, and I understand he's Kevin Cash. I understand they're the Rays. I understand I'm supposed to just be like, yo, whatever. But I know these chickens are going to come home to roost for the Rays at some point with the pitching. The hitting and stuff, I think they can continue to be fine. But I think that some things are going to come home to roost with the pitching. Dino, are you sharing that, kid? Dodgers worth the juice? I don't think so. I like the Giants to win that. I just like the Giants, yeah. Because I think people keep tabbing as a problem with the Giants that like a lot of the older guys had really, really good seasons. Yeah, well, the younger guys are going to have better seasons. Like Lamont Wade's going to continue to progress. Yastrzemski's awesome. He's going to continue to progress. So these other spots, I mean, losing Buster Posey in his leadership, I agree, is a big bad thing. But I don't know, like Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias, Tony Gonsolin, and like Danny Duffy or something. Like who in the I don't like the Dodgers pitching a ton. Kimbrel, Treinen. I mean, I love Treinen. I like Daniel Hudson, but then like Vesla, Gratterall, Caleb Ferguson, like Tyler Anderson was a nice little pickup. They have nice depth. But just being like the elite, like paying like they're the best team in baseball. I don't think the Dodgers are the best team in baseball anymore. Where did I put them? I put them fourth. Super disrespectful out here. So I don't know. They have the worst manager in baseball. He just went out and jinxed them before the season even began by saying they're going to auto win or whatever. I don't know. I agree. I mean, you're not going to get a better 1 through like 5 than Mookie, Freddie Freeman, Turner, Muncy, Justin Turner. The next best 1-2 punch besides Mookie and Freddie Freeman, that's 1,000% the best 1-2 punch in baseball. And then I guess the next best 1-2 punch is Castellanos Harper. I think Castellanos Harper beats Goldschmidt at Arenado. Right? Is that the best 1-2? What would you take as a 1-2 back-to-back if you could have any two players back to but they have to be already on the same team, obviously. Like any combo that sits out there. Haniger Winker is not terrible. You don't hate that. Oh, Ohtani Trout. Who would you take? Would you take Ohtani Trout over Mookie Freddie Freeman? Oh, that's good. I wouldn't. I would take Mookie Freddie Freeman. That's a good vote, though. You can get a lot of people. Castellanos Harper is a close third, maybe. Ohtani is so impressive with a bat. I think Ohtani's pitching leaves some to be desired, but I watch a lot of times Ohtani with the bat, and I'm like, damn, dude, you are fucking special. You are special. I don't think you could take Lourdes Gurriel and Vlad Jr. or Springer and Vlad Jr. or anything like that. I don't think they're part of the conversation. Devers Bogarts maybe as the fourth. I like this conversation. So for me, I'm taking Mookie Freddie. Any Masters thoughts? I wish, bro. I don't have any Masters thoughts. I wish I liked the Masters. I just can't get into golf, brother. I wish I threw up the power rankings and I could just share this shot. We could run through power rankings, but I went Braves, Giants, White Sox, Dodgers, Jays. Did I just take all the teams I think are winning their divisions? No, I put the Dodgers right up in there. Jays, Brewers. I like what the Padres did grabbing Manaea. I thought that was an awesome move. A really good move. They have a deep rotation. Musgrove, Darvish, Snell, Manaea. And that's with Paddock injured, with Clevenger injured. The Padres are deep. I like what they did. I put them pretty high. I'm going to buy the stock of whatever people. They just had such a bad coach. That guy, Jace Tingler or whatever, was literally terrible. He was awful. Like big reason why they, I think, crumbled like crazy last year. So what are we thinking? What is everybody else thinking? You worried about the White Sox starting without Lynn? No, not that much. I like their deep team. And hopefully, I guess, because now Ronaldo Lopez, Kopech both get a chance to pitch. I like Ronaldo Lopez, investing in him anyways. I don't know about long-term for your team, but I like investing in that guy. And we'll see what Kopech is. But you still have Giolito, Cease, Keuchel. They're just, the bullpen's good, and they're going to have like a top three lineup in baseball. I mean, they just are. So, no, I don't. Tim Anderson, Yon Moncada, Abreu, Grandal, Robert, Jimenez, Andrew Vaughn, who I'm high on breaking out at some point. Josh Harrison, who I like. Pollock. God, that's a nasty lineup. Really aggregated all the good hitters onto like 5 teams, huh? Like all the really good hitters in the league are on like 5, 6, 7 teams, and everybody else just has trash. Like the difference between that. By the way, as a Yankee fan, if you're not infuriated that DJ LeMahieu might not be starting, no, they're just who I just put division winners up there. I really just wanted people to know that it was about baseball. What should I write? Baseball questions or something? Ask baseball questions. Yeah, maybe that's good. Yeah, no, I just put division winners. I just wanted to throw some stuff around. The doodle for president. I don't know if I could have a doodle be president. A straight doodle? Maybe a doodle mix could be president. I don't know about a straight doodle, though. A little too much tood. Who else? Who are other good talking points for this year? Also doesn't help, whoever asked about the Phillies, doesn't help that Joe Girardi's the coach. That's never helpful. But I kind of like these picks. I mean, obviously, I think the West are the two most difficult in that equation. I guess you can just see if the chemistry – if I'm the Braves, I don't understand. I just pay Freddie Freeman. Why are you taking the chance of just blowing up the team's chemistry like this? Team chemistry is like the name of the game. Why are you taking the chance of blowing it up to save what was it, like an extra year they were arguing about? Matt Olson's also like not wildly proven. He doesn't have many like actual full seasons. A lot of his seasons were cut short for one reason or another. And it's just like guy hasn't proven it through that much baseball to like be able to produce like average wise, or like I think he's just like a pretty far whatever what's the opposite of superior? Deficient player to fucking what's their faces? Turner Shepard, Corey Seager, and Simeone. Yeah, it's a good 1-2, but that's about what the Rangers have. That bullpen, I know, can't get anything done. There's just no way that bullpen can do anything. Holy shit, 2 people asked about Corey Seager and Simeone at the same time. Oh, as the 1-2 punch. I can't take Seager and Simeone over any of those other ones. Mookie and Freddie's pretty unbeatable. Like Mookie and Freddie from like a big spot standpoint too. It's Mookie and Freddie, then it's Ohtani and Trout. I wonder if you have an argument, Simeone and Seager versus Castellanos and Harper. Maybe you have an argument there. You could slip it in there. I think I might take Bogarts and JD Martinez over those two. Or Devers and Bogarts. I don't know if you can still take JD Martinez, but one-legged JD looked pretty good in the playoffs last year. Maybe you can you take Wander Franco and Austin Meadows in that conversation? Man, there's some good 1-2 punches. I like Wander Franco and Austin Meadows. If I was investing longer term, I might take a little of that combo. Yeah. I don't know who else would match up with them. Where does Tatis Machado fall? Pretty far down for me. Meadows got traded to the Tigers? No. Are you being real? When did that happen? No way. They better have gotten something good back. Oh my God. That is an amazing snag for the Tigers. Holy crap. Holy crap. What did they pay for him? Isaac Paredes at a competitive. Oh my God. What are the Rays doing? Is he a free agent after this season? He has to be. How could you do that? Holy cow. What a game changer. Dude, I really don't like that move. It makes me like the Rays even less now. Now I can't wait to fade the Rays all season. That is bad. Why would you do that? Now you have G-Man Choi take that spot. Oh, man, dude. That is a really bad trade. How do you let him go? I mean, you got him for nothing. If you remember the front half of that trade, they robbed freaking the Pirates for Chris Archer for Glasnow and him. But now you have, holy crap, the Tigers are frisky as right. Ooh, Grossman, Baez, Meadows, Candelario, Miggy Doo, Badu, Shoop, Barnhart, Torkelson. I just put Miggy Doo there out of respect. They probably should too. Just keep the good vibes going. It's okay. Let them get out. Off topic, but UFC questions. What are you thinking? I was looking at that. What are you thinking UFC wise? I was literally just. I don't like anybody yet except Mark Madsen. I just really like Mark Madsen. Oh, UFC thoughts? Yeah, I just Jan can't lose. Yeah, I don't think that. I think and I was on Jan the first time, but I think I get what you're saying. I think Aljo had a really, really bad wake up for the first one. Unbelievably historically, could it be worse bad? I think it was an all-time terrible situation. Am I betting opening day or just watching? I started looking through it. I haven't finished yet. I'm going to be mostly watching, but I'll post something before tomorrow because I assume I'll just play something. I basically took off tonight. I have a few bucks on the over in the Celtics Chicago game. But other than that, I'm not touching nothing for basketball or for anything today. So Sterling is still rattled from the first fight, and now his neck injury looms in his head. He got it fixed though, and his neck injury has always been a thing. So I think it's always been looming in his head. Baseball wise, anybody got any questions? Otherwise, I might take a few minute break. My head is killing me. And I'll hop back on in a few minutes. But what are other people thinking for baseball? Did anybody lay any baseball bets? Hey, sweetheart. Can we go over some of tomorrow's games when we're back? Yeah, I guess we can. We'll just look at them blind today. But I haven't really gone over them. Who has the best bullpen? I think the Braves. It's so deep and so proven. So deep, so proven. I'll be betting every underdog tomorrow. I wonder. I couldn't find any underdogs I liked. Maybe I should take a break, do some research, and come back on with some picks for tomorrow. Because that's what I kind of realized with a lot of the previews and stuff. It's really difficult. I was watching everybody's previews, and oh shit, YouTube, you're popping. Korean Zombie, that big of a dog, dude. I was thinking the same thing. I just don't think he can do it, dude. I was thinking Gilbert Burns, but I have that card. I have that damn card, but I was still thinking Gilbert Burns. Aljo plus 350. I'm gonna have a little Aljo. I honestly believe that I will. I'll have some Aljo, and then I'll have some Mark Madsen. So far, I'm a Mark Madsen guy. I've known him for a decent amount of time now, and I believe in him as a human being. I don't know if being champ, whatever, but beating somebody like Vince Pichel, that I can handle that. Pistons plus 10. Pistons 17-0-2 last 19 ATS. Really? Holy shit. I like the White Sox. Dustin Harris. I love the White Sox this year. They're scary. And I think I've been waiting, but the whole White Sox like Dominican connection, I think is like, I don't know, that's going to come to bear fruit at some point. You got Tony La Russa pulling the strings. I like the White Sox a lot. That lineup is just so damn good. I don't think Dylan Cease is amazing, but I do like him. Everybody likes a Lance Lynn fastball. If you don't like a Lance Lynn fastball, get out of here. Giolito's continued to progress. Keuchel's Keuchel. I mean, it's a pretty good team. Hendricks, Graveman, Bummer to close out games. I mean, that's pretty damn good. AAA Charlotte Knights of the White Sox. I love watching their farm system. Dustin Harris. We know who our White Sox guy is then. Dustin Harris is going to be our White Sox guy. I'm going to start – once we start the podcast with my buddy, we're going to have in like whoever like follows teams really closely. We're just going to do deep dives on different teams throughout like as like part of the podcast and stuff. So because I think that's like the most important part of baseball, right? You just want to be tracking who's playing. It's a long season. Everybody, every player, every team has a lot of ebbs and flows. It's like a living, breathing organism. And you just want to be able to peg them throughout the season. Even the best pitchers go through periods of like losing command of their breaking pitch or whatever it is. So just like pegging those ebbs and flows. Like I already know I watched just some random, I don't know why I watched Merrill Kelly start, but that's why I mentioned him a few times. I just know Merrill Kelly's pitching well right now. And the Diamondbacks are going to be undervalued. I know I'm going to end up probably on their first game. Whoever Merrill Kelly's pitching against first, I know I'll end up on them. They have a kind of sneaky good pitching staff. Bumgarner, Gallen, Zach Gallen, if he's ever healthy again, Merrill Kelly, Luke Weaver, and Zach Davies. That's like sneaky, not that terrible. Braves and White Sox. You have Eloy and Luis Robert. I like Eloy a lot. The Charlotte Knights. I like that name. Good name for a AAA team. I'm trying to think. I want to invest in a bunch of Tristan McKenzie this year. I think he starts to progress. The Indians still have really good like first fives on the Indians. I think I'll like. Their bullpen kind of stinks. And then once they get back there with like very little hitting, it might be difficult, but I like Bobby Bradley. I like their 1 through 3. Franmil Reyes at 4. It's not that bad. I'll take some Indians first fives probably. Manea versus Kelly on Friday. Kelly? Who? The fact that I don't know who Kelly is scaring me. Who is the fuck is Kelly? What pitcher's name is Kelly, bro? Kelly? I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. That's brutal. Ooh. It's a pretty sick game. Lefty. You don't mind the lefty help out Christian Walker a little bit? And we already have the good lefty. Our lefties are the best. I might be on them tomorrow. Lock the Royals tomorrow. I was trying to do that. Zach Greinke back at the Royals. I'm a little worried about us being able to score like at all. But I think the Royals are probably the right early action's going that way. I know a few people on the Royals tomorrow. Are you both Royals fans? No way that Archak can have two Royals fans. Bobby Witt coming out hot. Where are they going to bat him? Do you know where Bobby Witt's going to bat? Like level of confidence wise, what they have in him right now, where he's supposed to bat? Do you know? Oh, Cubs fan. Oy. Rough. What's your lineup going to look like this year? For lineup, I literally wrote down Madrigal, Contreras, and then just stopped. It's like, whatever. Is Bobby Witt really going to bat in the middle? When you have like Salvi Perez, Carlos Hernandez, Hunter Dozier in the middle, he's going to supplant them? Really? Wow. Wait, hold on one sec. I got to check my text really quick. Oh, wow. Okay. My bad. Nice, man. I'm born and raised a Yankee fan. Hey, I respect it. You had one of the best championships ever for you to be able to come back and do the – he's got some pop. Yeah, I think Bobby Witt's supposed to be really good. Oh, you know what was big who I saw got the call-up? Rodriguez, the center fielder for the Mariners. I saw was going to start the season there. That's pretty big. Him starting the season on the Mariners is pretty big time. That gives them a potential another middle of the order bat. You move down Kyle Lewis 1 into the 5, JP Crawford into the 6, Suarez 7. I like Suarez in this like 5-6 hole though. I still think Eugenio Suarez is still not done yet. I think he just had a rough little stretch. I don't think he's done yet. Holy shit. I can't believe I agreed to stand here for 3 hours. My brain is killing me. What a crazy move. Rodriguez is a stud. Kid is so damn confident. I really like him. Dude, that lineup is insane. Adam Frazier, Mitch Haniger, Jesse Winker. Do you know how insane that is? It's an insane 1 through 3. Absolutely insane. I'm really bad at investing in people's specific cards. I bought tons of JP Crawford and Emmanuel Quickly cards. I mean, who does that? Why? There's no point in buying either of those people's cards. I just did it to do it. Not sure I covered. I think the Giants are going to win the NL West. I just really like this Giants team. Like, we were on Logan Webb all last year. I'm personally a Carlos Rodon guy. I feel like that guy's been steadily improving for a while. I like Carlos Rodon. I think Dave Sclafani was really good last year. Alex Wood's always good. I mean, they have an insane pitching staff. We need Camilo Duvall to continue to take another step. I'm not a Tyler Rogers guy. Bullpen's a little shaky, huh? We need we need Harlan Garcia to continue to be pretty good. Maybe Jake Junis can be back there. We still also didn't even talk about Matthew Boyd starting the season on the disabled list. They have a potential starting pitching rotation of Logan Webb, Carlos Rodon, Dave Sclafani, Alex Wood, Alex Cobb, who was awesome last year, and Matthew Boyd. Cobb had way better peripherals than his numbers suggested. They have arguably like 6 good starting pitchers, the Giants. And I think their young players are going to continue to progress. They got young Jock Peterson for the clubhouse. Jock Peterson's always in the playoffs. Jock Peterson lives in the playoffs. I love Webb. I got Cy Young plus 1,700. Webb is just so good. So good. Hopefully, for him, it's just stay healthy. Just stay healthy. Yeah, I agree. It's the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen's the key for the Giants. Bullpen's the key for a lot of teams. Bullpens suck. There's no good starting relief pitchers anymore in baseball. They're all like dead, gone, doing whatever. I don't know. But you can count like effective relievers in baseball on one hand these days. Do I play fantasy baseball? I do not. Not a fantasy baseball guy. Just like the games. I like my games. Slowly ramp up over the first week, and then we'll be in full swing. But I don't know what I'm going to be on, if anything, tomorrow. Because I was trying to get on some of these home dogs. I just can't do it. I don't want to be on the Pirates. I know Brubaker's pitching decent. I think Maul Fried is wide, but I still don't think Cincinnati's going to win. I think it's wide, but I don't think they're going to win. So Just tough day. I'd like to McGill, Corbin. Oh my God, Tyler McGill's starting. Do they really like Tyler McGill, or is it just spots start weird out of necessity? Cubs Brewers under tomorrow and Royals money line. I don't hate the Cubs Brewers under. Although they've kind of figured out, I said it before, but the reason why I can't take, they've kind of figured out what's his face? Hendricks. I think in that matchup, they've just kind of figured out Hendricks. So that's what scares me, is that the Brewers just bop around Hendricks. I was thinking I might just have to fucking take the Brewers just because I watched last year and they just kind of had figured it out. Yeah, I kind of like McGill. I don't know whether he's definitely legit, but I like what I've seen so far. You got to prove a lot in baseball. You got to remember, I watched Shane Spencer. You know, like I watched the Shane Spencer thing happen and everything. So like I'm very realistic in baseball. I'm just realistic in sports in general. Like you watch Robert Griffin, you watch these things. People that anoint people after less than like you haven't even seen adjustments happen. That's what pro sports are. It's like a game of adjustments. Seasoned veteran Jock Peterson. He is a seasoned vet. You got to love your young Jock. If you don't like Jock Peterson, I can't help. That's what a winner looks like. I can't help. If you don't like Hendricks, just needs to make it out of the first inning. Yeah, I just think, like if a lot of it's like pinpoint accuracy. I mean, that's a lot of what it is. And it's just the same. It's just that changey baby. But Kyle Hendricks is a good pitcher. But I just think that Milwaukee lineup is like a smart lineup too, with Craig Counsell as the manager. Like they know what they're doing. One of the few teams in baseball that still has like real fucking leadoff type hitters at the top of the lineup, like a Colton Wong that learned from the best. He can go back and inform the team, hey, this is how the guys looks today. There's very few teams with leadoff pitchers and leadoff hitters. Like a true leadoff hitter. People think a leadoff hitter is just like a guy with decent on-base percentage. It's like, no, it's a guy that goes and diagnoses the opposing pitcher, starts the game of chess. That's what a real leadoff hitter is. These other guys are just like, oh, I have an on-base percentage of 385, and no, yeah, you're 400 on-base percentage anymore. So are you telling the other hitters in your lineup what they need to be looking out for, what they need to be doing? I mean, that's why we've had Brett Gardner on our team for the last however long. How do I think Ohtani does tomorrow? I think it would be his first win versus Houston if he wins. I don't think Ohtani's ever beat Houston before. I think it would be a first. But, I mean, the Angels are a very similar lineup to the one they were last year, right? What's changed? And they couldn't hit lefty pitching for shit last year. And it's the same Fletcher, Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, Walsh. I mean, they were marginally better, I think, last year at hitting lefties, but still struggled. So I was going to look to try and take the Astros in that game. I kind of like Framber Valdez and Luis Garcia, actually. But I have to look. I got to take a little better peek at that game. See what the dealio is specifically. Because I feel like a lot of like the best kind of pitchers to beat the Astros, like generally, it's not guys that just throw the ball like hard or have a ton of. Ohtani might have some of the tricky-ish off-speed stuff to try and get him into some trouble. I don't know. I just like against the Astros when I play against them. I like taking like fly ball pitchers a lot, like guys that throw softer and shit like that. Like you don't really want to take like sinker ballers and stuff like that against the Astros. Although that's not really Ohtani's resume. So, what's up, Tyler B? How are you, brother? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I wish I liked one of these matchups like a lot for tomorrow. I really wanted to come firing out of the gates with a great pick. I might be able to buy my way onto Bumgarner. Maybe. I like him more as a hitter. I do too. I personally like Ohtani more as a hitter too. I think he's an amazing hitter. Coconut chicken soup. That sounds legit. I got Thai the other day too, actually. I've been eating a bunch of Thai lately. I don't know why. I actually did get like a beef Thai salad the other day. I got a couple of things. Yeah, I think Otani's like a spectacular hitter. A spectacular hitter. Being a Yankee fan, yes, brother. Yes. Who are the best teams to bet versus them or bet against? Well, you like generally don't want to take any pitcher with a brain against us. That's I mean, it depends on what we do with the lineup this season, but like whenever you have like Judge, Stanton, and Gallo all in like the same section of the lineup, I mean, we just have like all the same person. Like, do you have somebody that can throw like a heater up and in and then a fucking slider away? Because we're basically cooked. I mean, we're not even going to start DJ LeMahieu, so maybe everybody. You know, I don't play many season win totals because I think it's just like bad time value of money. Like, I'm not going to take like a minus 110 for freaking, I mean, unless I'm really, really confident. I just don't think time value of money. Like, there's other investments in life. That baseball season's so long than with season win totals. But I would take the Yankees under. I think we're screwed. People are saying we have like the best bullpen in baseball. You think Aroldis, an old, washed, you know, it's not washed. It's just like oft injured. They just killed his arm. Like, I just think it's crazy. Like him, Lois Siga, Chad Green, and then we're gonna extrapolate Clay Holmes to being awesome is somehow gonna give us the best bullpen in baseball. Get out of here. I mean, I pray Lois Siga becomes what we all hope he's gonna, but that is just some psychotic scouting. I think the Braves probably have the best bullpen too. Who even else can touch them? You know who's got a pretty good bullpen? The Blue Jays have a pretty deep bullpen. I like theirs in terms of depth. I'm underwhelmed by the Rays given what they're going to have to do. Kind of like White. I mean, the White Sox is good. It's just kind of thinner. You know who's not bad? The Angels actually have a semi-decent bullpen this year. Who has the worst? Probably the Orioles. I mean, the Orioles basically have Dylan Tate, Paul Fry, and I guess kind of Jorge Lopez, who's like long reliever. Maybe if you go shorter, he could tick it up a little more. But like, I mean, it's just bad. It's really bad. Yeah, I think we're right. I think it's probably the Braves, guys. Is there a bullpen? Can somebody make a better argument than the Braves? Are the Angels making the playoffs this year? I'm not quite sure. Wait, hold on one second. Let me respond to this really quick. I have to respond to this text. I realized I liked her. I've realized I liked her, guys. I have to act accordingly. Okay, sorry. With A's being bad, I don't know about the Angels, to be honest. Syndergaard, we have a lot of eggs in that basket, in the Syndergaard basket. What's going to become of that? I don't know. Otani, Syndergaard, Jose Suarez, I guess you like to see some of the progress out of. Patrick Sandoval might be decent. I do like, I mean, Iglesias, Archie Bradley, Ryan Tepera, Mike Myers, Aaron Loop. That's the best bullpen the Angels have had in probably the last. When's the last time? I mean, normally you got to see like Chris Middleton as the setup guy. So, I mean, when's the last time you saw the Angels with a bullpen that good? So I'll give them that. But the Angels, you know who their lineup reminds me of? I think of the Angels and the Cardinals very similarly lineup wise, where like people give their lineups all this credit, but it's really just like a super top loaded lineup with like 3 bats in it. Like Fletcher, a lot like Tommy Edman. And then you have Otani and Trout versus fucking Goldschmidt and Arenado. And then it's like, you know, people think, you know, Walsh, while people think O'Neill. Like, those are actually great comps. What a comp. It's an electric comp. Very similar, but I think those are both very short lineups to me. Like a very short lineup. I think the Marlins have one of the deepest lineups, as crazy as that is. Not as, I guess it's not as like, you know, volatile, like not as wide a spread in talent, so it's not as high end when it's high. But I mean, that's a pretty deep lineup. I think Jacob Stallings is actually a pretty good hitter. You're gonna have him in like your 9-hole, like Miguel Rojas. I mean, what are we doing here? The Marlins are gonna be electric. Dude, Sandy Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, Pablo Lopez, Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo is just like a 1 or a 2 for Oakland in the playoffs. And now Jesus Luzardo is like an afterthought on the Marlins, and they go 6-0 for freaking 6 deep. I mean, people should be afraid of the Marlins, in my opinion. We really need Anthony Bender to take another step as a reliever. Hopefully Pop, too. Because then we have Floro, Sulcer, Bender as like ultimate back end and still have Bass and Blyer. I mean, that's cool, man. Give me Braves are looking even more legit this year. Give me a 2-peat. Hey, Dustin Harris, I just think it's all about the chemistry stuff. I mean, let's say you're Ozzie Albies or, Dansby Swanson or one of these guys. Although Swanson, we'll see what happens next year. But you just won a World Series. You're captain. You're like the guy that you looked up to since you got in the building, Freddie Freeman, the longest tenured guy. Just basically got chewed out over like not that much money. And then they turned around and gave the biggest contract in team history to a guy that wasn't part of the championship you just won. So you guys reaped, as the group that won it, you guys basically reaped 0 benefits off of winning the championship. And they gave all the money to some random guy in Matt Olson. How would you feel about that? Regardless of how good a player Matt Olson is. I mean, unless he was just like God and he just made it so he just hit a home run every time he was at bat. How would you feel about that? Didn't Braves offer Freddie more money than LA? I don't think they offered the same number of years. I think it was a year's thing. Dansby is likely gone mid-year this year. Acuna is severely underpaid. Acuna is severely underpaid. Albies is extremely underpaid. All those guys are extremely underpaid. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if Freddie definitely wanted to go LA. He did want to go home. I get there's some of that. But I do think there's also I think there was something where the LA offered him more years. I think he would have gotten like maybe a little more per year from the Braves, but it was more years from the Dodgers. So whatever it ended up being, the fact of the matter is the highest paid guy in your team's history is now not a guy that was part of the championship last year. How do you think the other people feel? They paid Olsen despite. Yeah, I think interesting, Tyler B. They paid Olsen despite Freeman. Freeman left AA hanging. He wanted to be a Brave. Chipper told him not to sit on his hands, and he did. Interesting. Acuna and Albies making barely minimum wage. Yes, I agree. And it was over like a year. Exactly, Dustin Ayers. 1 more year. That's what I'm saying. How would you feel if they're these players? This is what I think could be a big problem this season. If I was one of these players, I would say, I absolutely fucking hate you. I'm going to make you pay for doing this shit to me, and we're going to fucking torture you this season. Braves fans hate Freeman now. That's the vibe here in Braves country. Well, that's messed up. Because then I feel like they just don't know well enough. Because I feel like it just didn't feel right to me. Like, I feel like you could have done what you needed to do. It doesn't matter the age or whatever. You need to keep that. Because, dude, I think they're going to hate. I would err on the side of just human nature being like, why am I making nickels on the dime as I'm awesome? And Matt Olson has played like 3 full years in baseball and is making like twice as much money as me. I mean, what would you do? I think just human nature takes over and you just want to punch Matt Olson every time you see him. That's what I would want to do. So I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Really interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Rumor is Acuna's contract will be reworked before 23 season. Well, I freaking hope so. Albies likely traded, oddly enough. If you trade that Albies contract, then you're just a dodo. I mean, yeah, they have all these young players. I mean, I don't even understand signing Matt Olson. Just bring up some young kid and just keep within the organization. Eat that, save the money for next year or whatever. But Matt Olson, dude, Matt Olson is what we're gonna tank our franchise for, like our just team chemistry, everything. Matt Olson. Any fantasy baseball or mostly betting lines on here? I mean, once we get in the season, we're going to de facto talk about who we think is going to hit well and pitch well. I just don't play fantasy baseball. But it's like the same thing. If you just listen to game flow, you should be like TTL does good with player props. I think he just listens to like general win conditions and game flow. They had no 1B in the farm. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's still, hey, dude, hey. Dude, they're like going to war. Dino and his girlfriend are going to war. Olson is a hometown kid, grew up 40 miles from Turner Field. Well, I guess I understand it more now. That's still, I wouldn't tank my franchise over that. I just wouldn't do it. Just wouldn't do such a thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought they had such good team chemistry. I traded Garrett Cole and Wander for Trey Turner Cease. Really? I mean, I guess Garrett Cole could still have like aversions to the sticky stuff thing because he was a big sticky stuff guy, kind of like Glass now, just big sticky stuff guys. But I tend to believe in Garrett Cole kind of long term. Like he won a championship with UCLA in college. The guy's been winning for a while. I kind of think Wander might be special too. I'm not sure if I would have done that. I remember Greg Olson. Greg Olson was sick. Greg Olson's a huge bro. Olson has 5 homers in spring training. That doesn't mean super. Hey, Matt Olson, I'm just saying it's relatively unproven, just investment-wise. I don't know. How many full seasons does Matt Olson have? I cannot believe the Tigers got Austin Meadows. That is a fucking robbery. Do they not know how good that guy is? Because he hit like 250 for like a season and a half. We're just going to bail on the guy. What are you doing as an organization? They probably know better, though, unfortunately. Oh, he wanted Garrett Cole. Oh, I get it. Being a nice guy. Yeah, tomorrow, baby, we start the biggest season there is. Wait, let's see. How many seasons has Matt Olson played? Played 6. How many full ones? He's played 156 once last season, 162 once, 127 once, and everything else. That's a ridiculous contract. Absolutely ridiculous. Braves wanted Meadows. Well, go Cardinals. You're a Cardinals guy? My buddy just married into that family, actually. Wonder if he's here. I shouldn't say shit like that. My bad. If you are here, Chaney, my bad. What's it called? Nice, bro. You're a St. Louis guy, dirty scan diaper. Nice guy. Yeah, I think you guys need to hopefully Carlson can develop. I think Carlson's really key for you guys. And then hopefully Jack Flaherty comes back healthy. I mean, those are the keys. At least they're like super controllable things. Or not like controllable, but like realistic-y type things. You don't have to go get something. You don't need to hope and win. Like Pujols divorced his wife right when he joined. I know. I saw that. That was kind of weird, huh? It was weird timing. Acuna is 8-year, $100 million, and get turned into 10-year, $124. Damn, bro, that's a shitty contract. 8 years, $100 million. God damn, that is a mess of a contract. Him and Albies is 7 years, 35. Yeah, I know that one's right. 7 years, 35. It's like, dude, that's robbery. I remember when he signed that. I was like, what the hell are you doing when he signed it? Look at it now. I mean, with like inflation, all this other shit. Holy shit. 7 years, 35 million. I mean, dude, you can't even get a fucking shitty reliever for 7 years, 35 million. A shitty reliever is like 15 million. I mean, Jesus, dude. It's, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, just the worst contract. The Albies contract is fucking, he should be able to sue for that. You should be able to sue in some kind of arbitration or something to just get a new contract because it's like slave labor. I mean, that's terrible. Like honestly terrible. I get it when he was young, whatever. I mean, it's just makes me want to throw up. Yeah, she didn't want to go back to St. Louis. That's hilarious. Insane. Absolutely insanity. Insanity. I think people are going to be really overrating the Rays this season. I'm looking to fade the Rays. AA is the best GM in sports. You know who else is an underrated GM? Fucking Crazy DePoto. I like the Mariners GM, bro. I'm a Mariners GM guy. I am. I'm a fan of him. He gets shit done. He might be a crazy person. He gets shit done. He might look crazy doing it. It might look like he's just throwing paint at the fucking board, but he figures it out. I think worst team in MLB. Why do you think the Nationals, really? No pitching? Strasburg and Corbin? Fetty's not bad at home. Josiah Gray, or just Fetty's not bad in general. Josiah Gray could turn into something. They could very viably have some big pitchers. I don't think the Nationals are that bad, actually. I like the Blue Jays this year. Yep. Yeah, I think the Blue Jays have a pretty clear route in our division. I know my buddy likes that too, the one I'm going to be doing the podcast with. I know he likes them as well. Been a Mariners fan since the kid played. Hope they do well this year. Dude. How many people, if you weren't standing in the mirror, just what a swing to do. The old Griffey imitating the Griffey swing, nothing better. If you aren't vaxxed, you can't play in Toronto, right? Nope, I don't think you can, which means like Judge can't play. Yeah, I've heard that. That's going to be something to factor in. Toronto should get like an easy home. They should get like there should be players missing when people have to travel to Toronto. How much have you missed? I don't know, man. We're just going through. These are who I think are going to be my division winners. I need to let my brain rest in a few minutes. I'm going to, I think, just like answer a couple texts and stop for like 5 minutes, give myself a 5-minute break. But I'm going to come right back. Our division, who is your team? I'm a Yankee fan, dude. I bleed pinstripes. I will have they're the only ones I get emotional about the Yankees. My buddy does too. The one I'm doing the podcast with, we're both like diehard Yankees fans. That's like our connection with our dads. Who's the worst team in your eyes? The A's. They're not even trying. Either are the Orioles, really, but the A's are just so far from trying. I mean, they've like given up before the season started. They're like making their players feel bad. Sheffield has the best chance. Justice? I don't know about Justice. We'll see. Get your girl, man. Yeah, I am. I am gonna get that one. I just got into a thing with the. I just got in a thing with her before. So I actually, when she left, I was like, "Oh wait, I fucked up on this one. I gotta go grab her." So I've been trying to whatever. I know A's traded everybody away. I know it's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. What the A's did. What about that pitcher on AZ we are fading? I don't want to fade Merrill Kelly. I like Merrill Kelly. What pitcher on Arizona do you want to fade? Who? There's nobody on Arizona I want to fade. I kind of want to buy Arizona. Everybody thinks Arizona is terrible now. No, Merrill Kelly. I like Merrill Kelly, bro. I'm a Merrill Kelly guy. I know that feeling all too well. I don't know. I mean, dude, I just know I think I fucking might end up with this one. It's a weird situation. I just feel very patient with this girl. I just know I'm going to end up with her. I think the Nationals' worst team. We have a battle. Why do you think the Nationals are so bad? Give me your reasoning. Dirty skank diaper. I didn't realize your whole name. That's hilarious. What's the reasoning, bro? What's the reasoning for why the Nationals you think are gonna? There's a lot of young players that people think can break out of that lineup too, and I kind of agree. Like Kyber Ruiz has such a high pedigree, dude. Lane Thomas, I watched him bat pretty well at the end of last year. People say he's doing well in spring training. You get Keyboom back at some point through the year, then your lineup's starting to have some length to it. I just rattled off like 7 guys. What are we having? What problem are we having with the Nationals? I mean, you don't like relying on old as shit Steve Chizik and Sean Doolittle and Will Harris? I get it. They do have a bad bullpen. The bullpen I'm listing off, yeah, it's not ideal. Rainey and Finnegan could be worse. They have been getting blown out. In spring training doesn't matter, though. That's not real. Like, there's no correlation between your spring training record and your you just like to see if guys have, like, just have no idea what the fuck they're doing or look fine. Is Joey Bart the catcher for San Fran? Yeah, I think so. I heard he's been raking in spring training, coincidentally or whatever, since we're talking about results maybe not being conducive. But yeah, he's apparently he's raking. But yeah, I mean, you're switching pitchers and shit like that so much. Spring training results cannot. There's no way they're I mean, I've never checked, but there's no way they're correlated to season-long success. I would highly doubt that. I'd highly doubt they're even correlated to like how you start the actual season. I just don't think managers are trying to win in spring training. Who gives a shit? The Lions do great in preseason football. Exactly. It's like good coaches are just working on things. Like you're like almost hoping things fail so you can correct them there rather than during the actual season, right? You can have good starters, but bad closers in general lose games. Yeah. Is your podcast live or taped? We're going to do it live. We're going to do it on like YouTube, whatever, doing it like live like that. Just like on StreamYard and stuff. And then eventually I can send out the StreamYard link to other people. But we're gonna do it on YouTube. But it's with like one of my fucking boys too. It's like one of the homies. So we talk baseball every day anyways. Yeah, do you think they have the worst closers in baseball? I think the Orioles have a worse bullpen. Tanner Rainey and Finnegan I have a lot of hopes for. I think Finnegan we can find some value in. I mean, a lot of teams just don't have a closer at all. Whoa, we're getting a lot of delivery packages today. Somebody else just came. I got my car washed today. Yo, these kids did an unbelievable job on my car today. I let some like younger kids clean my car instead of taking it to a place. Holy shit. Best car cleaning I've ever got done. But I think the Orioles have a worse bullpen. Dude, we're giving the Red Sox, they don't even have closer. I mean, Matt Barnes wasn't on the postseason roster last year. We can't really give them too much credit. Like, dude, who has a good closer? I think you're giving – dude, if you look across, like, the ERAs of most relievers last year, it was, like, good to have, like, a four – anything under, like, a 4.2 was, like, pretty good last year. People just got shelled. Imagine what happens when they take away the shift next year. The Red Sox bullpen, I actually don't think is terrible, but I do think it's like you can't like suddenly think it's going to be like semi-strength or something just because they still have like Hansel Robles and grabbed like wild Jake Dykman. Like we can't be like, oh, and Strom. Like Strom's kind of like a nice like third lefty arm, bullpen arm or something. Like I do like that, but still. Whitlock was good for a bit. Let's see Whitlock continue it. You also have to remember the volatility year to year on relievers. Like it's more than ever, but like it's like I think maybe it's because of mental toughness, whatever else, because being a reliever is so difficult mentally. But it's like the turnover year to year on relievers is insane right now. There's no good relievers. That's why I was saying the Angels like kind of jumps out. See, yeah, Whitlock and larger sample size. I agree, Marty Lane. But that's why, like, the Angels almost jump out, like Rizal Iglesias, Archie Bradley, Ryan Tepera, Mike Myers, Aaron Luke. Those are some relatively proven arms, no? Like, the Angels bullpen, man, you got to put a little star that's decent. Like, you look at the Mariners, and, like, while it's not the best, like, Steckenrider, Diego Castillo, maybe Ken Giles can flare something up from the past. Paul Sewald's pretty good. Sergio Romo. I mean, that's not, it could be worse. If either of the Munoz or the Misowitz kid pan out, I mean, that's enough arms to get the job. Just bullpens aren't very good right now. Like, people give the Dodgers one so much credit. It's Kimbrel, Trainin, Daniel Hudson, and that bunch of like relatively unproven guys. I mean, some people like think Bruce or Gratterall's proven. I don't necessarily think he's proven. But there's like a lot of question marks in this area. Who's got good bullpens? The Phillies bullpen, actually, the back end isn't that bad. It's the starting pitching that's going to be the bigger problem, in my opinion, because there were kind of more I really like Aaron Nola, but there were more kinks in it, or kinks, whatever, in Aaron Nola's armor than you would like to admit from last year. That wasn't a great, just no breaking ball the entire season. Like, I don't think Aaron Nola threw one good breaking ball the entire season last season. The Reds have a pretty bad bullpen. Sims isn't like injured too. They have a pretty bad bullpen. I don't know why it says Simmons. It's Sims. How many baseball games do you attend in person on average? Well, when I lived in New York, it was a lot different. I used to go to Yankees games all the time. Now that I'm out in Las Vegas, not many. My buddy, the one that will be on the podcast, he has Angels season tickets and he goes whenever Yankees are out there. But like for me, I mean, there's no baseball stadium here. So I don't know. Every time I go home during the summer, like last year, I think I went to like 3 or 4 when I was home for like a month and change. So I went to like 3 or 4, but not that many, unfortunately. Dude, I don't know if I'm going to make it till 6:30. I might put my head through a fucking wall. I have a terrible headache. Might not make it. But Casey Merrill, where are you? What games are near you? I wish I went to more. Hopefully I'll get out to California and go to a couple with him this season. But trying to think. Maybe I can hop on tomorrow and we can talk during the Tigers. Dude, the Tigers are going to be fun. You should go. Just Detroit sports seem to be like elevating. Like the Pistons have some hope. I feel like there's got to be a little buzz is there a little buzz around Detroit for all your young teams? You would think there should be a little buzz. What was I just about to look at? Oh, what time the games start? So we have at 11 a.m. start time we have a bunch of ones. Maybe we'll go live at like 11 a.m. tomorrow and I'll chill out and we'll watch some of the Brewers Cubs game and kick off opening day in style. Maybe do a little bit of that. I'll put out something. I mean, we got to play something tomorrow. We're not just passing on opening day. I'm not passing on opening day completely. I mean, that's like a sin. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to be lighter. I mean, it's just, I can't take Greinke, dude. I can't take Hendricks, dude. I just can't do it. I might be able to take Patrick Corbin. Oh, nice, man. Chicago, and you have a nice little mix. That's a good mix now. Chicago sports are nice right now. They're about to they are making a nice little comeback. Dustin Harris, I am going to go rest in a few minutes. I'll cut it a little shorty. It's hard to do baseball previews. I was like ripping on them, but like the John Boy guys did a pretty, not the best job this year, just to be completely honest. I had a hard time too, man. It's hard to do baseball previews. It's such a long season. When you're like previewing baseball, it's like you're previewing like the very beginning. It's like, it's such a long season. Your team at the beginning looks nothing like your team at the end. That's why a lot of the teams that you keep seeing end up there, they just buy it. Like halfway through the season, you got to retool. All right, boys. Let's talk a little bit later. We'll talk a little bit later. I might hop back on a bit. I got to look at tomorrow's slate and get people some picks for tomorrow, though. And we'll start chatting. But we're going to look to podcast on Monday and Thursday, I think. We're going to release them. Or like whatever, do the live recording of it. And otherwise, I mean, dude, we're going to stream every day. So I'll be here. Crew, I shall be here. Hope everybody has a wonderful one, guys. Be wonderful. Enjoy the dia. Bon viet.